Southern leaves, southern trees we hung from. Barren souls, heroic songs unsung. Forgive them, Father, they know this knot is undone. Tied with the rope that my grandmother died. Pride of the pilgrims affect lives of millions. Since slave days separating fathers from children. Institution ain't just a building, but a method of having black and brown bodies fill them. We ain't seen as human beings with feelings. Will the U.S. ever be us, Lord willing? For now we know the new Jim Crow. The stop, search, and arrest our souls. Police and policies patrol philosophies of control. A crew hand taking hold. We let go to free them so we can free us. America's moment to come to Jesus. Caged bird sings for freedom to ring. Black bodies being lost in the American dream. Blood a black being, a pastoral scene. Slavery still alive, check Amendment 13. Not whips and chains are subliminal. Instead of they use the word criminal. Sweet land of liberty, incarcerated country. Shot me with your ray gun and now you wanna trump me. Prison is a business, America's the company. Investing in injustice, fear and long suffering. We staring in the face of hate again. The same hate they say will make America great again. No consolation prize for the dehumanized. For America to rise, it's a matter of black lives. And we gon' free them so we can free us. America's moment to come to Jesus.
Let America Be America Again, written in 1936 by Langston Hughes, a famous African-American poet. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great song land of love, where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by the one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland for the free. I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro, bearing slavery scars. I am the red man, driven from the land. I am the immigrant, clutching the hope I seek, and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man, full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient, endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the waste, satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker, sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean. Hungry yet today, despite the dream. Beaten yet today, oh, pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker, battered through the years. Yet I am the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings. In every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I am the man who sailed those surly seas, in search of what I meant to be my home, for I am the one who left dark Ireland's shore, and Poland's plain, and England's grassy lea. and torn from black Africa's stand I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not free. The millions on relief today? The millions shot down when we strike? The millions who have done nothing for our pay? For all dreams we've dreamed, for all songs we sung, and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing at our pay, except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that has never been yet, and yet must be, the land where man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me. Who made America? Whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain. I must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. For those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again. America. Oh, yes, I say it plain. America was never America to me. And yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangsters' death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the river, the mountains at the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America America again.
When George Floyd was killed and the world took notice and the emotions were high, I, like everyone else, watched and participated in one way or another with the events around us. One of these events was for a large group of people at East Shore coming together and reading, discussing the Project 1619 magazine. Through all of this, I started to notice how people's passions come forth, how some individuals seem to be more dynamic than others, and I began to wonder why. Why, when Kimberly Jones said,
"And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge,"
was so much more powerful than when others spoke out? Why were the Wall of Moms so much more moving? Is it because I'm a mom? Or was it just them? Someone said something along the lines of, "You're not only what you eat, but what you do." Started thinking about that. What do I do? Do I see things through? Could I become part of the Wall of Moms? What is it that they have that makes someone like Kimberly so powerful? Also during all of this, there was of course all the commentaries and statements about what is good and what is bad and what is wrong and what is right. And a lot of people were saying that the protesters were wrong and that what they were doing was bad. Here are these powerful people making amazing, eye-opening statements, and they were bad? Being me, I began to wonder about bad. Now, anybody who has had a deep, extensive conversation with me knows that I do not believe in good and bad, or right and wrong. I believe in decisions, in actions, and their consequences. I believe that these decisions and actions should be done with everyone involved in consideration, including me, including the people I don't like. Then make an action that can benefit everybody the best I can. And yes, I know, believe me, I know that you cannot take an action that will benefit everybody and make everybody happy. It's just not possible. But you do the best you can within your own morals and your own values. With this in mind, are the moms bad? The protesters? The policemen? Back to those morals and values. Back to you are not only what you eat, but what you do. Action, consequences. These very often are very black and white things. And the world is not black and white, or even gray. The world is an explosion of color. Based on pigment and light, black and white are the biggest explosions of color of all. This would mean that action and consequences are huge explosions of color. Morals and values expand beyond the rainbow that our eyes can see. And all this stuff dancing in my brain, and being an artist, you are not what you eat, but what you do, twirled around into an idea of a book. What is in your cup? What are these moms, or Kimberly, or MLK, or Malcolm X, what are they putting in their cup? What tea are they drinking? Kimberly's cup is full of honesty. MLK's is full of justice. Malcolm X being outspoken. The moms being confident. Yet, what makes these people, these individuals, stand out among so many that are drinking the same tea? What if it's the darker side of things? Honesty, being blunt, justice, righteous, outspoken, belligerent, confident, cocky. That is it. That is what makes these individuals different, more impactful than others. When Kimberly said, "You are lucky we want equality and not revenge," she was being blunt, and she had to know it and own it. Her statement was so eye-opening and spot on because she was willing to be blunt in her honesty. MLK was so impactful in justice because he was willing to be righteous in his beliefs. We would not be able to quote his speeches today if he did not have that righteousness within him. These people were willing to own the full color spectrum of what they were doing, the light and the dark. They were willing to let go of good and bad. And they did so within their own morals and values. And therefore, being impactful and moving the world a little bit closer to the equality we all want. We as Unitarian Universalists strive to better the world. And to speak honestly, bluntly, we've not always been successful. Maybe if we were to acknowledge the darker side of things, to admit that we have these sides to us, to let go of good and bad perspective of the world and embrace the color, to say, I'm confident and a little bit cocky too. Maybe we could move the world a little closer to equality. Let that dance with your brain for a little bit. And let me know what you think.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh,
the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish, and then when it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, oh, we'll cry glory, oh glory,
Selma is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
one day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, oh,
I am the hopeful Black woman who was denied her right to vote. I am the caring white supporter killed on the front lines of freedom. I am the unarmed Black kid who maybe needed a hand, but was instead given a bullet. I am the 2 fallen police officers slain in the line of duty. Selma has awakened my humanity. Selma is now.
You ready?
Ready.
Okay. We join hands and pause in Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, pledging ourselves to an individual religious freedom which transcends all creeds, not to think alike, but to journey together.
So I've been seeing a lot of things talking of the people making commentary. Interestingly enough, the ones I've noticed that have been making the commentary are wealthy Black people making the commentary about we should not be rioting, we should not be looting, we should not be tearing up our own communities. And then there's been an argument of the other side of we should be hitting them in the pocket. We should be focusing on the blackout days where we don't spend money. But, you know, I feel like we should do both. And I feel like I support both. And I'll tell you why I support both. I support both because when you have a civil unrest like this, there are 3 types of people in the streets. There are the protesters, there are the rioters, and there are the looters. The protesters are there because they actually care about what is happening in the community. They want to raise their voices, and they are there strictly to protest. You have the rioters who are angry, who are anarchists, who really just want to fuck shit up, and that's what they're going to do regardless. And then you have the looters. And the looters almost exclusively are just there to do that, to loot. Now, people are like, well, what did you gain? Well, what did you get from looting? I think that as long as we're focusing on the what, we're not focusing on the why, and that's my issue with that. As long as we're focusing on what they're doing, we're not focusing on why they're doing. And some people are like, well, those aren't people who are legitimately angry about what's happening. Those are people who just want to get stuff. Okay, well then, let's go with that. Let's say that's what it is. Let's ask ourselves why in this country in 2020, the financial gap between poor Blacks and the rest of the world is at such a distance that people feel like their only hope and only opportunity to get some of the things that we flaunt and flash in front of them all the time is to walk through a broken glass window and get it. That they are so hopeless that getting that necklace, getting that TV, getting that change, getting that bed, getting that phone, whatever it is that they're going to get, is that in that moment when the riots happen and if they present an opportunity of looting, that's their only opportunity to get it. We need to be questioning that why. Why are people that poor? Why are people that broke? Why are people that food insecure, that clothing insecure, that they feel like their only shot, that they are shooting their shot by walking through a broken glass window to get what they need? And then people want to talk about, well, there's plenty of people who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and got it on their own. Why can't they do that? Let me explain to you something about economics in America. And I'm so glad that as a child, I got an opportunity to spend time at Push where they taught me this, is that we must never forget that economics was the reason that Black people were brought to this country. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. Do you understand that? That's what we came to do. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. Now, if I right now decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400 rounds of playing Monopoly, I didn't allow you to have any money, I didn't allow you to have anything on the board, I didn't allow for you to have anything, and then we played another 50 rounds of Monopoly, and everything that you gained and you earned while you were playing that round of Monopoly was taken from you. That was Tulsa, that was Rosewood. Those are places where we built Black economic wealth, where we were self-sufficient, where we owned our stores, where we owned our property, and they burned them to the ground. So that's 450 years. So for 400 rounds of Monopoly, you don't get to play at all. not only do you not get to play, you have to play on the behalf of the person that you're playing against. You have to play and make money and earn wealth for them, and then you have to turn it over to them. So then for 50 years, you finally get a little bit and you're allowed to play. And every time that they don't like the way that you're playing, or that you're catching up, or that you're doing something to be self-sufficient, they burn your game. They burn your cards. They burn your Monopoly money. And then finally at the release and the onset of that, they allow you to play and they say, okay, now you catch up. Now at this point, the only way you're going to catch up in the game is if the person shares the wealth, correct? But what if every time you share the wealth, then there's psychological warfare against you to say, oh, you're an equal opportunity hire. So if I played 400 rounds of Monopoly with you and I had to play and give you every dime that I made, and then for 50 years, every time that I played, if you didn't like what I did, you got to burn it like they did in Tulsa and like they did in Rosewood, how can you win? How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have, that if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the fuck do I give a shit about burning the fucking Football Hall of Fame, about burning a fucking Target? You broke the contract when you killed us in the streets and didn't give a fuck. You broke the contract when for 400 years we played your game and built your wealth. You broke the contract when we built our wealth again on our own, by our bootstraps in Tulsa, and you dropped bombs on us. When we built it in Rosewood and you came in and you slaughtered us. You broke the contract, so fuck your Target. Fuck your Hall of Fame. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.